and thanks for joining us on Radio Guy Online. Welcome to News at 6. My name is Adelaide Ofe Obobisa, and I'm here together with
Miriam Namele-Butchie.
And now to our headlines. President Nana Akufo-Addo commissions and hand over the Secretariat of the AFCFTA to the African Union Commission. Ochihene and Omanhene of New Jobin clash over seats on House of Chiefs. Sampa Innovations ready to partner government to deliver solar energy. FC Barca fires coach after defeat in the Champions League quarter-finals. The news now in detail. Now to our first story. President Nana Akufo-Addo has commissioned and handed over the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area to the African Union Commission. At the ceremony held in Accra, President Akufo-Addo stated that Accra had charged all of her obligations towards the establishment and the setting up of the office following the selection of Ghana in 2019 by the AU Assembly to the hosts, the AFCFTA Secretariat. He also said an effective implementation of the AFCFTA will dismiss the notion that the AU is not capable of executing its own decisions. He therefore explained that Africa's new sense of urgency and aspiration of true self-reliance will be amply demonstrated by the handing over ceremony. The President thus appealed to all member states who are yet to ratify the AFCFTA agreement to take advantage of the postponement of the date for start of trading and do so by December 2020 to enable AU member states to trade fully among themselves, to enable Africa harness the benefits of AFCFTA together. In other stories, Ochihene Omanhene of New Jobin clash over seats on House of Chiefs. The Ochihene Osajefo Amwetia Oforipenyi and the Omanhene of the New Jobin traditional area, Dasibra Otibuating, are on a coalition course over the composition of the restructured Eastern Regional House of Chiefs, that is ERHC. Dasibra Otibuating, in a letter to the National House of Chiefs dated July 14th this year, accused the Ochihene-led ERHC of a bizarre attempt to exclude the New Jobin traditional area from the restructured ERHC. He said, as one of the paramount chiefs in the Eastern region, he was not consulted on the new proposal to include individual chiefs in the ARHC, while the New Jobin Traditional Council was also not treated fairly in the allocation of divisional chiefs to the council. UER women's groups pledged support for Professor Opoku Agyeman. Some women's groups and association in the Upper East region have pledged to support the National Democratic Congress (NDC) Vice Presidential candidate Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman to win power and succeed in governance after the December polls. The groups made the pledge when the NDC running mates met at Bolgatanga last Saturday as part of her 2-day visit to the region. Her visit was to show appreciation to the people of the region and also get a feedback from them on the critical issues that required urgent attention in the next NDC government.
The National Executive Commission of the National Democratic Party will meet today to confirm a date for its national conference. The executive will also affirm the preparation made so far for the conference, such as the election of national officers and outdooring of the flag bearer for the 2020 presidential elections. The 5-time presidential candidate of the People's National Convention, Dr. Edward Nasigri Mahama, has announced opting out of this year's election. In an interview with the Daily Graphic yesterday, Dr. Mahama said that party has opened nominations for all functional positions, adding that vetting will take place early September to pave way for the party's delegates conference, scheduled for September 23rd this year. The executive director of the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, Abna Edubia Amoa, has called on the state actors to sanction perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence to defer others from indulging in such unlawful acts. She noted that the sexual and gender-based violence issue, including child abuse and child marriage, were still rife and called on the authorities to bring such perpetrators to book. 11,000 workers of Ghana Audit Service signed petition against Auditor General. A staggering 11,000 workers of the Ghana Audit Service has petitioned the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in protest against his decision to appoint and maintain Johnson Okwamwa-Esiedu in steering the affairs of the Audit Service as Auditor General. The petition, which is also already in the media space, is based on the President's record of human rights and belief in allowing state institutions the independence to function in line with the constitutional mandates. The petitioners affirm, for instance, that the Auditor General has credibility challenges, as cited in a letter referenced AG OP 1816 and dated 27th July 2018 to your office over procurement malfeasance. In the said letter, the petition stated, Mr. Johnson Okwamwa-Esiedu disregarded an approval letter from PPA and, upon the direction of Professor Edwardia Ajimai, awards the contract to some firm other than those who participated in the procurement processes. NDC youth organizer clashes with Professor Opoku Ajimai over teachers' allowances. The national youth organizer of the NDC, George Opare Addo, has conceded that the Mama-led administration erred in its decision onto the Students' Loan Trust Fund. Irredeemable lie, Martin Amidu Shreds Awai, working with Rawlings book. The special prosecutor, Mr. Martin Amidu, is the latest high-profile personality to have shredded Professor Kwamena Awai's book, Working with Rawlings, describing aspects as irredeemable lie. In a 4-page critique on the controversial book was made available to dailymailgh.com. Mr. Amidu rubbished a part of the book describing him as a member of the National Reform Movement alongside the late Vice President Fakwesi Amisa-Atta. I was identified and baited by the auditor and Mr. Kofi Totobi, then the Minister for National Security, with the Vice President candidacy in the 2000 election to breach the rank of the movement. I am reported to have excitedly swallowed the bait. The narrative is an irredeemable lie because I can say and prove authoritatively in due course that neither the late Mr. Amisa-Atta nor I was an associate or member of the National Reform Movement. Mr. Amisa stressed. We deserve respect, voter chiefs to politicians. The paramount chief and president of the Bata traditional area in the Volta region, Togbe Ga Patamia VII, has called on residents of the region who are into politics to accord traditional rulers the respect they deserve whilst pursuing their party's interests. He said he talked about this yesterday when he met the Banda delegations at the Togbe Afede Palace. I hope our brothers from the Volta region, one day when they find themselves in government, will give our chiefs a due respect, because we don't have 4 years. Ministers have 4 years, and even the former speaker had 4 years, and there was an extension. The long and short is that 2 ministers from the Volta region were profiling us as NDC party agents. I don't hold NDC party card, neither do I have MPP, CPP or Konsa welfare card agents. Please, we deserve some respect. 51-year-old man jailed for sexual abusing 6-year-old girl. The gender-based circuit court in Accra, presided over by Her Honor, Mrs. Christiana Khan, has sentenced a 51-year-old waste collector who inserted his finger into the private part of the 6-year-old girl to 3 years imprisonment in hard labor. The convict Daniel Mate Commodore Okan was also charged with indecent assault, pleaded guilty when his plea was taken, but pleaded with the court to show clemency on him by dealing leniently with him because it was the first time he had committed such an offense. He told the court that his wife has passed on and he has no one to support him. Mrs. Khan, while sentencing the accused, said that the court has taken into consideration his age and his plea for clemency.
In business, indigenous firm SunPower Innovations is ready to partner government to produce and deliver solar energy to businesses and communities in Ghana. SunPower Innovations, since its inception, has installed more than 7 megawatts of solar PV capacity and have undertaken major installations at shop centers, banks, and financial institutions, educational institutions, and dozens of commercial projects in Ghana, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone. The founder of an executive and chief executive officer, Ernest Emisa, said it is time for government and other development funding institutions to partner indigenous companies like SunPower Innovations to expand their operations, a situation that will lead to enormous job creation. Ghana recently has over 4,000 megawatts of installed generation capacity, though actual availability rarely exceeds 2,400 megawatts due to changing hydrological conditions, inadequate fuel supplies, and dilapidated infrastructure. The first 10 megawatts is expected to be connected to the national grid by the end of September, whilst the remaining 40 megawatts will be completed in December this year. According to him, the move will not only boost the energy capacity of the nation, but also diversify the sources of power. In international news, former Chancellor Sajid Javid has accepted a job with US bank JP Morgan. Javid left as Chancellor in February after refusing to sack his advisors. The role was part of a power struggle with the Prime Minister's chief advisor, Dominic Cummings. The bank did not disclose his pay or hours, but said the work wouldn't interfere with his duties as a member of parliament. The job marks a return to job for Javid and a return to a former employer. He worked for JP Morgan in the 1990s in New York before moving to Deutsche Bank.
Kumawood actor Michael Afrani begins campaign tour for Mahama. Kumawood actor Michael Afrani has commenced the nationwide tour due Sankofa JM to campaign for the flag bearer of the main opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC. That'll be all for today's news. My name is Miriam Namen.
I'm Adley Lobobisa.